we are back. You guys have not missed much. There it is. Still working on the bridge. We've completed the exit assembly, and now I'm currently working on this part, the main assembly. Just moving the glue around for it to put pressure on it for it to dry. We did the power, they call it the power station, whatever, power support. Basically the thing that controls the bridge to go up or down. And Glen is still working on base coating his Reaper, whatever the thing.
Think of that one hero from that franchise.
We're now onto the main scary part of this whole build.
Also, I meant highlight, and that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. We're on the bridge, the actual like support beams and stuff. So I've also, when we were off, I popped out everything from the sprues except for these parts, because these parts actually matter which side goes to which. You okay there?
That weird aftertaste of the cheat. Oh, it might have been.
So we're going to switch spots here with this. So as this dries, I'm going to move this over to the side here. Out of the view. And 2. Okay. You okay there?
Yep. Again, some of that styrofoam part of the Cheetos is just not wanting to decide where to go. But I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
So this goes to the angled part or the flat part? It's like the closers. Bingo. Go that way. You could just apply it also this way too. So for those who might be wondering how to build the bridge later on here, first mistake of the bridge building, there's these pieces here that you use to make the parts here. There's going to be 2 of them with these holes and 2 of them without the holes. The diagram doesn't really show, and this is like, again, one of the only real problems I have with their diagrams. Up here, it just doesn't show, like, it shows like 2 of them requires the holes and 2 doesn't, or 1 doesn't. That's a lie. The pieces that go in the middle here, so like these will go in the middle here, require these to be facing inwards. And then the ones without the holes here faces outwards.
I mean, better than a Forge World diagram. You gave yourself a Forge World how-to. It's like, good luck, have fun.
Forge World models are actually pretty good at telling you how they go. A knife might be recommended for this.
Show you what my Reaper instruction booklet was all about.
I know the one I got from Age of Sigmar models were actually really good.
Yeah. Janky. Personally.
You know.
Glen being derp again. Nope, nobody needs to know. There's a cookie for you.
I want you in my room. Attach this to the base to be safe.
Oh yeah, the new Eldar ones.
Yep.
They finally know how to move forward.
Yep.
For those who don't know, the regular Eldar got posted today with a resculpt of their current unit of Guardians, are they called?
Yes.
And they look like they're basic same. I'm sorry if this is
So hey guys, it's Will taking a quick break in here. So I've been trying to say like the importance of trying to put these things together properly. I haven't been able to properly do it because I didn't find the paper, but since I'm now more right in my mind and actually had some sleep, here's a cut in the video. So this is a diorama that I found online. This is the Atalary's book version. So it's printed for the, I think it's either first edition bolt action or the actual Atalary set itself. But the instructions are basically the same no matter which side you go to. I think I actually like these ones better. But anyways, so the first thing I was talking about, these scaffolding right here. So you notice that, sorry, zoom in. This one has holes in it on the side there, and this one just has a basic big hole. Like it doesn't have things that looks like it can pin into it. So you want this one and this one to be inwards, as you can see, just like this. Those pin in, and then the ones that don't have the holes go here. In the instructions I had, they don't clearly show that. And then the big piece I'm talking about, so what I mean about the board, I'll take a pause. This is the baseboard that I mean. This big chunk right here. So whenever I say base in the video or text, that's what I mean. But I mean, it should be glued into there. And this bridge, this staircase should be over here. This should be over here. And you want it so that the holes face inward. So you want it so the holes face inward when you build them. So that way the bridge fits properly. So you can see here, you want, what I'd recommend is this big piece here for both of them. It doesn't matter which side you start with. Just take this piece with a couple of drops of super glue, glue it into that base I just showed you. Because there is these, it's hard to see, but it's there. These little pins. These little pins right here. There's little slots behind those guardrails that you have to glue into the base to start with. And they pin into there in a way that these holes should be facing, once you have that glue like lined up and figured out where it is, a little bit of glue. Why you want a little bit of glue is because you're going to have to wait a little bit. You don't want it sealed. But you can do that, or put a little glue that, and then you take these scaffoldings and build around it and build it onto that base. But I've holding up long enough, so let's continue with the video. Just finished the pieces. So I majorly fucked up on this part. This part is really important that you don't mess up. So this is my warning to you, and I will tell you why. So yeah. So I thought I'd come in and chip in with that, but at that point, this section of the bridge is done for now. So I'll pick it up here. Do a nice little spin of it. Besides that, if you don't give a shit like I do, how it should look, they are equal as far as I'm aware. They, as long as you have those holes, as you can see here, those holes in it, like inside on the in, not on the out, you'll be fine. That's about it. So I'm going to push this to the side here. Move these pieces out of the way as that's squishing it together. We are on to the bridge, frame, and deck part 1. So this is the sheet. Yeah. So I'm going to read it. Since we now actually have space and time, I'm drinking some water. I have some Doritos with me. Fun times. So first off here we have the main frame panels of the bridge are left and right hand take care in assembling the frame panels together. Okay, so this is basically saying, hey, like, there is pieces that go together. Be really careful. Which is fair. Okay, so this looks like we popped out these fragile pieces. So it's this is the time of the fragile pieces. As it's looking, this is supposed to be on the outside, so the orangey colors here. So I'll show these orangey colors here are these pieces, ones with the dots. So we're going to mark it like this. That way it goes like that. So that means that this piece here should be the inside or the outside. So that will go like that. Then that piece will go there, and this is how we're going to organize it to be like, hey, this piece goes to there. If you guys have ever built this bridge, let me know which side you've had issues with. What was like your parts that you've had wrongings with, or what would you recommend to someone building this to do? What was your tips and tricks? Let's start on camera. We're going to start with this panel right here because it's in front of me. So, looks like this is how it wants it faced. So that's how we're going to face it. So this would be on the inside. Makes sense. It lines up. It lines up. So with this, it's a structure piece. I'm going to do a thing because there's a piece here. This. So it snaps right in to here. And this kind of acts as like a thing to hold it on this. Just a couple of dots to kind of hold it in place quickly. Then I'm going to come in with the white glue. And the nice thing about white glue is if it gets everywhere, it doesn't really matter because it's white glue. It's super easy to clean up. So it's not a huge problem. And for the most part, you guys might see holes here, or when it dries, I'll show. but there is holes on this side here, and these do wrap through. Which, on that note, I don't think is too much of a problem, because I think whatever it attaches to isn't fully going through it. Now we're on to part 2, the one with the holes. Basically, actually, we can do this next part while we're on here. So, again, if you're doing this, do it on a table that you don't care it gets glue all over it, because I don't. I can just wash it down. But now we're on this side here, and this is where these come in. So this goes here. Basically, just trying to show you guys when I go to do this, because that way, it will require both pieces to be done. So I'm just going to show you how it should generally look here. And then this piece goes down here, like that, and like that. So when we come back from this next break, I will have both panels done. We'll have the cage built, and we'll have these guys onto the side here, ready for the bridge to be put in. So we will see you guys in that next part, and I'm going to clean off the desk. Okay guys, we're back. I just finished the bridge, and this is a huge boy. Like, that's my arm. Like, it is an arm's length. It is. You can fit 2 tanks on here. Like, it's big. This was actually pretty easy to build, especially following, like, knowing which side goes on which. Alignment, I would say, is the biggest part on this section. I used only a couple of drops of super glue just on like the loose parts, just to kind of suck it in, because again, I don't have clamps. Clamps would help really a lot, but this bridge was actually really easy to build. There is holes here, you may see, right here, hole here and here. There's supposed to be a little tab that like friction holds it together, because it's 2 pieces that makes the inside. I just cut them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with putty, or like the little excess pieces of wood and like super glue, and just make like my own wood filler. It's no big problem either way, or I can make it look like damage. But that's basically the bridge on that part. Going on the outsides here, you want the bigger tabs of this wheelie part right here to be out. So you're going to take, the instruction says you want 2, so 1 and 2. And then you're going to want one of these at the end. Now, because they do fit, we'll white glue them on. Again, not really caring about my area here. 1 and dap again. Dap. I'm going to just super glue that edge. I'm going to have to clean off my super glue. But anyways, using that as a line, I can feel it. And then 2 washer. Oh, okay, so this one does have a little bit of an edge for it. So I guess I just didn't push it in properly on that side. And that is the bridge done. Well, until we put the ballast on there. So speaking of the ballast, since we're here, let's build the ballast, because that's going to be pretty quick. So you want to make sure that all of these display pieces are out, facing outwards. So that. And it does have a slope. So you want the slope to face outwards. So actually holding itself pretty well. Bam, bam, Again, this is holding itself up pretty well by itself. And the back piece, don't let my anger with this wood beam thing. I love wood building. But anyways, that's basically it. So I'm going to go and glue this together quickly here. And when we come back, we will start with the bridge and frame deck part 2, where we're going to build the sidewalks onto the side of the bridge here. So we will see you guys when I get to that part. Alright, so I'm back, guys. So I've built the ballast McGee, the weight. So there it is. It's not glued in, it's just friction in, and you can basically leave it that way. It's a pretty tight fit. They don't want you to glue it in because of this next piece we're going to build. So I'm going to move the bridge out of the way because the bridge is basically done until we finish this part. So we're building the gantry control, so the thing that actually controls the bridge going up and down. So I've got the pieces here. Basically just did the fence to make sure it was the right fence. So we're going to build this part here. We're basically on the easy stretch here. We're on the end stretch. This does have a removable roof. So we're going to find the parts, make sure that the bring it up here. The etched details here. The etched details are visible. These are a little bit longer on the bottom, so they will pop right through. I believe that is on purpose to act as a sort of like catch, but it is what it is. You could do the roof anyway if you want the windows to be facing this way or facing in this way. You can do either. Just make sure that they're on. If you do it one way, that you make sure that both ways is done that way. Make sure that the stuff is the embedding or whatever it's called, and there we go. More to the center for you guys. Now this isn't not where it sits after, it sits in front, but I'm just using it as a holder for now. I think the wood was not cut right. Yeah, so the wood was not cut right on this. So it's actually floating above where it needs to sit. There we go. And that is that done. So that's going to basically stay now because the glue is starting to settle. I'm trying to figure out this whole house. It might be easier to do it this way with the frame instead. The last piece of this is the roof. Basically just these two pieces. I'll make sure the short edges, I believe, yep. The short holes are together like that. It doesn't matter which one of these spikes you want. To be careful though, these spikes were in the panels that were inside the roof frame right here. So this frame that you glue into here, these were in them. So just as careful in case you throw them out. Come on, don't fall apart. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Do it. That is the roof and this building done. So, basically doing the sidewalks of this. we're going to go on to the last part here. I kind of skipped ahead to do easier stuff. We're going to do the walkways. So they're just linking pieces. We're going to do that so that they kind of line up like that. So there's these holes right here. You want the holes to be lined up because a giant strip of fence or guardrail goes there. Basically, in the end, it's just putting on guardrails, the leftover guardrails we have. So I'm going to do that. This step is super easy. There's holes on the side of the drawbridge that they clip into. So I'm going to go do that. When we come back, we will have the bridge fully assembled and we'll have our last thoughts. Hey guys, so we've just finished the bridge and it's a really long pain in the butt, but there's a couple of spots that you got to watch out for, especially with humidity if you live in a really high humid spot before you paint this thing. But we'll go over that right now and I'll show you kind of the paint areas. I have some steps here on the side that I still need to paint into the stairs, but I must have lost the major stairs for the up ramp to get into the place. But anyways, so we'll show you this here. So this part slots in. The over access part here under the bridge, there's a little spot that naturally just makes it into basically a slot here. So as you guys can kind of see, like right under here, just oops, slots right under. So this is one piece, bowl thing. The bridge itself right here, as you can see, is pretty ginormous. So this is beside a 1 quarts or 946 milliliter Oliver's glue bottle. Gorilla Glue. The other one is that they don't really tell you on the paper until at the last section is this part here, this walkway here that has this little house. Remember when we built this and I was saying, and maybe if you just skip to see the final, I'll have timestamps at the bottom. But this bottom here, this doesn't get glued in. So why you do that is you put the bridge onto the gantry, you put it in, you line it up, make sure it's flat on the bottom and it's flat with the walkway here. And there will be a little lip over this bottom part here if you line it up properly. It's to catch this. But this gets, you don't put anything on this, like the fence and stuff, like we built it pre-hand. I just showed you, I built it pre-hand just to show you guys what it looks like after. But what you have to do is this part here, this part, you gotta slide it in, tilt it this way, and then lift it and click it in so it catches a little, let me pick this up for you. So it catches these spots right here, and then you get this, so it's floating above the bottom part of this weight. And you want the weight, the flat end, as it shows in the picture here. Then you want the curve end here. The roof is a really tight fit, but it does slide out. Just two hands, but it slides out. Slides back in. Then we got this, your second spot of movable walls. So, oh no. So this is technically one floor. The roof of this is supposed to just pop in and out, and then this bottom piece is supposed to, again, my bridge can expand. If you guys want to know how the bridge is being held up, besides those little lips. So the gear is right here. So it's just bigger than these little cutouts. So the teeth actually catch that, and that's what's holding it. I'll get around here. Here's the back end of this thing. It has the draw things. This keeps popping off for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, and of course I just gotta build the staircase here, but I might just leave it not there. Have it as it is, but that's basically it. If you guys want to see how I have to move it so I can actually up the bridge, let's do it. So here's the bridge. Again, I wouldn't bang the table a lot with this thing up, but it is being held by the gear, by some friction, stuff like that. So the bridge can be up or it can be down, but you can do boop. So you could, if in theory, if you had a strong enough base, you could model it with the bridge up. There is a point where it will catch. So anyways, that was the bridge, as we saw. So I just tried lifting this thing up to show you guys, like this inside here. You could even probably, if you wanted to do some cool battle damage, just cut the inside, because earlier on in the video, it's 3 pieces that make this big arm. You could cut the inner ones to give you more clearance for the house, or you could just not do the house on there and just have it as a flat surface, put some maybe a stand or something on there. But clear that. Definitely do the gantries. This is what they're called. These are called gantries. In the order I've been saying just constantly, and you shouldn't have a problem. The bridge pops out really easily. I could probably push it back in, but I've just went and super glued the gears and the bridge connections to the wood, so that way we live in a really humid climate and the weather drastically changes, so just as support. But this is the bridge built and done. So I'm going to go and cry in a pillow for the reviews here. And at this time, you might see some videos and pictures and stuff and some models on it. But I'd say in the scale, this was the end closing segments. This was the Sarasis. I'm sorry if I keep butchering the name. I really like their other wood stuff, like the Stalingrad, and this is referenced now because I've done 2 big things. Their houses and stuff for the price and value, but I'd say from a box set perspective, on a scale of 1 to 5, what would I rate the box itself? From, if you guys again check the link down below or the tab or the playlist this is in for part 1, I'd say it's a 2. Especially since I've built this. Before building this and just kind of like the history behind it and getting in the box, just that excitement of, oh my god, a huge big battle box. Ooh. I'd say that it was a 3. Now with building this and seeing it in front of me, like this, after unboxing everything and building this, it's probably about still that, I'd say it's about a, I'd say actually, I still think it's about a 2.5. But I think that's about it, really. I can think for positives. Cons, lack of British is literally just 2 units in an HQ. You don't get any cool sort of anti-tank weapons or vehicles. Not even like a Tetriarch or anything. And remember, this is the core version of it. If you can get it when they do their Christmas sales and you're willing to split with someone, or you have the money saved and you really want the bridge, or you like Pegasus, like Market Garden like I do, or your British Paris, get the Bridge Too Far or whatever it was called, this Ham and Jam. It's called Ham and Jam. And for my last video where I kept saying Island Hop, I believe it's actually called Island Assault, is the 2-player starter box for the Pacific Theater. That one's pretty good. I like it. It looked cool. But the Ham and Jam is definitely better. If this was the Ham and Jam version and I did buy it on sale like I did, I would then, my rating for this would actually be higher. It would probably be about a 3. It would probably be a 4. As you guys have watched the video, it's a 2. It's just so reliant on the wood being right and straight. It's so reliant on you putting those two like that holes, that 2 little pieces together properly. And if you do not, you're fucked. It relies on you doing those, putting the 2 beams together on the base part to right, or you're done. And because of that, I'm now stuck with it in the lower section. I had to break pieces off just to make it fit. I'm gonna have to go through with a knife and shave some stuff down. I got a bunch of stairs I need to make custom in my stuff because I lost a bunch / it didn't come with them. It was not a fun time. So the guys on the Discord that talked to me about it, you were right. It was not fun. And with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, I'm gonna go grab my stuff from Bryce's place, because that's kind of like where we're hanging out to do stuff. Issues have arisen, so it's harder for me to get out there than it normally is. So we're gonna get that stuff back. I'm gonna get some sand from somewhere, and when we do that, when I get the sand, we're gonna texture and grass and everything the crashed glider terrain piece that I'm gonna be working on to go with this, and then we're gonna start doing roads and stuff. We'll paint up some of the dudes. Excuse me. Paint up the train. We're gonna make more hedgerows on TV and roads, and then we're gonna do the foam for this. This is gonna get foam on it. It's gonna have water underneath it. It's gonna be the biggest project I've ever done. This is like the epitome of what I've been doing. So in the end, this whole table here in front of me should be covered in terrain. So with that, we will see you guys in the next video.